Chef Lynn, and we're in the Flavor Secrets kitchen with Chef Friedrich from Streetside Seafood in Birmingham, Michigan. In my opinion, it's one of the best places to go to eat seafood in town, so I was really excited to have you come and show us some of your dishes. What will you make today?
Well, we'll be starting off with a tuna tartare.
Great.
Nice fresh little appetizer here. Then we'll be going into mussels. Really quick, simple, something easy for people to do at home, and then just a nice basic salmon and lentils dish.
Perfect. I really wanted him to do fish because I know a lot of people are afraid to do fish or don't like the smell of it, or mostly they're just afraid because they don't know how to tell when it's done. So we'll talk about that when we get there.
Of course.
Okay, let's start with the tartare.
Perfect. All right, so what we're going to do here is start with a little bit of avocado. So I'm just gonna cut it in half here. Take the pit out of it.
Oh, it's a beautiful avocado.
Yeah, it's nice.
Now tell us how you know if an avocado is right.
It's gonna be a little soft, not too soft, but if it's firm at all, you want to completely stay away from it. Or if you are going to buy a avocado that is hard like that, then you're going to want to give it the time to properly ripen, and then
get a little bit soft. So
get a little bit
just
soft.
A little bit soft, but not.
Yeah, I mean, if you can almost see it. It has a little bit of a wiggle to it, and even with the pit in it, it's going to have a little bit of a give to it, and nothing crazy.
It seems like often when I buy them, I'll get them home and they're brown.
Either brown because they're too soft, where when you grab it, your hand almost goes right into it,
right.
And that's kind of what you want to stay away from.
Yucky. So we can throw this down here.
Really easy trick to get the pit out of there.
Okay. We don't have any special little tools for cutting the avocado.
No, just a spoon. It's a spoon and a knife. It's really all you need.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna mash this up a little bit. Just make sure. Perfect. So just mash it up. You don't need to make it too smooth. So then what I'm going to do here, like typically a guacamole is going to have your onions, your jalapenos, seasoning of some sort, lime juice. So what we do at the restaurant's a good little trick if you don't want to actually have the chunks of onion or jalapeno in there, is we just take it and we throw it into a blender with onion, vinegar, lime juice, jalapenos, just to get all that flavor, and it's just a nice smooth texture that you can then just.
So this is lime juice?
This is lime juice, a little bit of white vinegar, white onion, jalapeno, cilantro, and then just puree together.
So that's what you're pureeing, not the avocado with it.
Correct.
Okay,
so then you can leave a little bit of a texture to the avocado itself, but then have a nice smooth flavoring.
And not only do you get the flavoring, then it also keeps it from going brown because of the citrus and the vinegar, right?
Exactly. So then we'll just season.
Smells great.
Mix that up. Just kind of as you're mixing it, it'll kind of just start to break down the avocado itself. But then it'll leave it still a little chunky, just because I like having a little bit of that texture. So
that's a good mouthfeel there.
Yeah, exactly. So then I'll just grab a little bit of seasoning here.
That's salt and pepper mixed together?
Salt and black pepper.
Okay. Tell me about the tuna. Where does that come from, and how often?
The tuna that we get comes in from Boston, and I get that into the restaurant 3 days a week. So we keep it.
Is it sushi grade?
It is sushi grade. Okay. So I have no.
I was hoping you weren't going to
I
say
have
no.
Problem. No problem just grabbing it, eating it. It's wonderful, just clean. This actually just came in this morning, so it's extremely,
Looks
extremely
gorgeous.
fresh.
Yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So you've got what, maybe
This is 4 ounces.
4 ounces, okay. Total?
Yep, 4 ounces total of tuna there. So then, again, kind of just to bring in a little extra flavor, change it up a little bit for a little bit of an acidity, and to season the tuna itself. I have a ginger and yuzu vinaigrette. So you have yuzu juice, which yuzu is a Japanese citrus. It's kind of like a cross between lemon, lime. Almost has a little like pine notes to it.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see that in the store. You
Yeah,
must have
you
to order that in.
definitely do not. So I just get it. It's a
Google that one.
Exactly. It's just a not from concentrate juice that I get in straight from Japan. So it's a really high
Awesome.
quality. Then it is a little bit of fresh grated ginger, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, oil, and some ketchup as well, just to give it a little bit of body.
Oh, okay. I'll skip that part.
So we'll just
ketchup is wonderful, and also a little sweetness, right?
Exactly. Sweetness, a touch of acidity. So I put maybe a tablespoon and a half in there. So we'll just mix that up. Again, season with our salt and pepper. Mix that
Salt
up.
brings out the flavor in anything, as we talk about a lot.
Yeah, salt is actually just opening up your taste buds. So you're not actually seasoning everything. You're just opening up your mouth so that you can taste better.
Okay.
Which is it's kind of fun to know. So then what we'll do with the plate here, just go straight down on the plate with a little bit of the avocado.
So this amount that you made will serve
This will
two
serve,
people?
yes, 2 to 4 people, just depending on how much each person
you
wants to
like
eat,
it, yeah.
obviously. So we'll just make a nice little bed of avocado here.
So what makes tuna sushi grade?
It is actually how it is processed, actually. So in order to be sushi grade, it's kind of weird to think, but every fish is actually frozen first. So
The whole fish altogether?
Yep, it is flash frozen at, I forget the exact temperature that it is. It's like negative 80 or something along those lines.
Just for like 15 seconds,
Exactly,
right?
just complete flash frozen. It kills any parasites that are naturally in the fish, and it is then a sushi grade fish.
Perfect, yeah.
So then we'll just take that wonderful tuna and just top it right onto our avocado. So you get this nice little just mound. And then you're simply just going
Plated that so lovingly.
right? You're simply just going to then
People
serve
tell me,
it.
like, you love your food, don't you?
Serve
When they
with
watch me cook.
just some corn chips, not nothing real fancy, and just
And so you've got a dish here that's gluten-free also.
exactly.
Right?
So that is our then completed dish, which is
Gorgeous. I think I could make that my whole dinner. All right, let's take a buzz down to the restaurant now and see what it's like at Streetside Seafood in Birmingham, Michigan. One of the most interesting things to me about Streetside Seafood is that you can't get in.
It's a good problem to have.
I know, it's a great problem. I want to know what the secret is. You know, you have to go at 6 o'clock, or you have to go what time, 8 or something?
Like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
8:30, 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
How late are you open?
We do dinner till 11 during the week, and then midnight on the weekends.
Seriously, midnight
Yes.
on the weekends.
Yes.
I'll remember that. If we're coming after Symphony or
Of
something,
course.
we can still eat.
Of course.
That's awesome. I don't know how you keep it going, but keep it going. It's great.
Doing my best.
Okay, so next we're making, let's see, we've got a couple
So
things going on
I got
here.
a few things going on for the next dish. So going to be starting some black beluga lentils right here. Actually, beluga lentil is a little bit of a smaller lentil. It holds its texture a little bit better.
So this pan is half full of water,
Yep,
and you use
half
maybe
full of
a
water. It's about a cup of lentils to, let's say, like 3 cups of water, almost cooking them like pasta.
And he just put them in there raw. They
Yep.
weren't soaked or anything
Nope,
before.
did nothing to them. Just cooking them like you would pasta, and I'll try, give them a little try here in a little bit just to see what their doneness is.
Okay, so about how long?
You're looking
15
at probably
minutes?
about 12 to 15 minutes, yeah.
Okay, good.
And then
over
in
here?
the pan over here, I have some. Go for it. I have some shallots that I just sliced.
And do we want to caramelize these?
Yep.
Because they're caramelizing.
Yes.
Okay.
Going for a nice little caramelization, brings
Okay.
out a little bit of sweetness. I see that they are starting to get caramelized, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little bit of just minced garlic.
Excuse me.
Don't want to add that in right at the beginning at the same time as the shallots, because then the garlic will burn and it gets bitter. So we're going to add that in right there. Give the garlic a nice little toast, and then I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
Balsamic vinegar, when you reduce it, it gets nice and sweet. Be careful when you're pouring it into the pan. You're going to, it's almost like a
hot
little gas bomb. You don't want to put your nose right over it. So I added about a cup in there.
We were talking about this earlier. If you're too close, you're just going to start coughing.
You're just going to start coughing. You're going to inhale it. It's no fun, believe me.
Whew, even being this close. So do you want this heat a little higher?
So
or?
then I'm going to turn the heat up so that we get a nice reduction going here.
Okay.
And then in the meanwhile, while that's going, we'll get some mussels started. So I have a medium to low heat onto this pan right now.
Do you want the lentils covered?
No.
No. Okay.
So I'll grab a little bit of just a canola oil here. So about, we'll say about 2 tablespoons. Grab some shallots again that I just diced, a little
Finely
nice and small.
diced. Gorgeous.
So since they are a lot smaller than the shallots that we had for our sauce, I'm going to add my garlic in at the same time. Plus, I want to get a little bit of a roast onto my garlic. Gets it a little bit sweet. If you let it go too far, then it becomes bitter, like I said earlier. So I'll just let that go a little bit. Don't
Just
be
by the
afraid
way-
of a nice hot pan now.
By the way, this is the heat-proof spatula, so don't try to use a regular spatula or
Yes.
you'll melt it.
Yeah, you
Make sure
definitely
you've got a
don't
high
want to
heat
do that. It's a real quick way to ruin your dinner.
Ruin your spatula. Fill your dinner with plastic.
All right, so we're getting nice little caramelization there
Okay.
on our shallots and garlic. So then I'm going to take some Bar Harbor mussels that I have here. Bar Harbor is just outside, is actually in Maine, right on the Atlantic. So just not a very large mussel, but they're just really nice and have good meat to them, and they're absolutely delicious.
And they all have to be alive, right?
Correct.
How
so
do you know that?
You'll know that they're alive by them being closed. So this one you see is open. If I just give it a little squeeze here, you're going to see it just actually close itself, which it's
Okay,
doing.
so it's still
So
alive.
it's still alive.
Okay. And
So
what
I'm just
happens
gonna-
to the dead mussels?
Dead mussels, discard them. You don't want to do anything with those at all.
Okay.
As soon as you see an open one, give it a quick little squeeze. If it doesn't go back in, throw it away.
That's a good trick.
So we're just going to add our mussels right into the hot pan. Toss them around a little bit. Let that garlic and shallots completely cover them. So
This smells like heaven.
nice and hot. So then I'm going to take white wine. I have about 2 cups here. I'm probably going to use about a cup and a half.
What kind of wine?
It's just a Chardonnay.
Unoaked, I take it?
Yes.
Because I always say don't ever cook with oaked Chardonnay because it intensifies and it doesn't taste good.
Exactly. So we're just going to I'm going to turn it up to a nice high heat. We're going to let that come up. And then I'm going to put a lid on it, and they're going to take, because they're nice fresh mussel, they're only going to take about 2-3 minutes to fully cook. So it's really quick, something really easy to do at home.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for those to cook, why don't we buzz back down to the restaurant, go into Chef's Kitchen, and take a look around.
Perfect. Why don't you guys come on in and check out my kitchen. All All right, so what we're gonna do here is gonna make like a variation of a BLT. It's our lobster BLT. So we're gonna take a little bit of spring mix here on some toasted bread. It's just a sourdough here. A little bit of applewood smoked bacon. A couple slices of tomato here. And then I have just some lobster meat that we cook, cut it down a little bit. I'm gonna add a lemon chive aioli just for a little bit of nice creaminess that's gonna be added into the BLT here. Mix that all together. Just go right up on top with this. Close our sandwich up. Got some nice toasted bread. Grab a knife. Show presentation side out, and that will go with some of our house-made chips, seasoned with just a little bit of salt and pepper and a tiny bit of Old Bay. And there you have a really simple lobster BLT.
So there was a little bonus dish for you. Okay, so now let's finish up our mussels and then cook our salmon.
Into the Schooner Bay salmon. So we have our mussels that have been nice and
I wish you could get a whiff
nice
of
and
this.
steamy
Here, I'll take
and
that.
just getting really nice. So the white wine has then now cooked the mussels and reduced slightly, so I'm just going to take some whole butter, say about 2 tablespoons for that amount.
Maybe 3 tablespoons.
Maybe 3 tablespoons. You can't have enough
Looks
butter.
like 3 to me.
So then
A
we'll just
little
let
butter is good, a lot of butter is better.
Yes. So then we'll just let that butter melt and just make this wonderful, just a really simple white wine butter sauce.
So you've got to time this carefully at the restaurant, right?
Yes, of course.
Because you can't be overcooked.
No. You definitely don't want these to be overcooked. So we're gonna just finish it off with a little bit of parsley. Give it a nice fresh herb flavor there.
You have another first for the Flavor Secrets Kitchen, and that's we've never had anyone who was 6'8" before. And I was watching you chopping, I was wondering, do you get back?
Oh, my back hurts all the time.
You need a taller counter.
I do, but I just deal with it.
You just deal with it.
Yep.
Okay.
So our mussels are now done. So do we have a
Delicious.
towel that I can
Sure.
that I can grab this
Right
with?
underneath. Does that work or?
So
No
I'm just going to take
towels in
some.
sight.
That's not a problem. So I'll just take some of these wonderful mussels. And again, if you didn't catch any of the mussels earlier that were dead, while you're cooking them, they're not going to affect your flavor in any way. But if while they're cooking they don't open up, that is another sign of a dead mussel. So if they don't open up, then
affect the others?
Nope, not at all.
Really? Okay.
So then you just discard the mussels. So then we'll have this just really nice,
Oh, it's gorgeous.
nice simple
Then
dish
would you
here.
put more parsley on top, or?
We could put some more parsley on top, and then you just have this really just wonderful sauce here that you could just have all the mussels in, and it's great with like a nice little like a baguette or something just to dip into that sauce to just soak up all that just really nice flavor that you have from the mussels.
Would you put more of this juice in, or would you thicken it at all?
No, you can just use that juice just the way it is.
Okay. All right. On to the salmon.
So on to our salmon dish. So I have my lentils here that are just about done. They've been going for about 12 minutes or so now, so I'm gonna just give them a little try.
And how do you know they're done?
It's almost gonna be like a pasta. They're gonna have a tiny little bite to them, but soft at the same time, which is what's nice about the beluga lentils, like I was saying earlier, is that you have a little bit of leeway to them because they do keep their shape and keep their texture a lot better. So you can almost can overcook them and still get away with that.
So they're done.
So they are done now.
To drain these, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So then I have my sauce with the shallots, garlic, and balsamic. You can see the balsamic is just nice and reduced now. So what I'm going to take and add to it is about in equal parts to the amount of balsamic that I had used of veal gloss. Now veal gloss is veal stock that has just been reduced down, and it just gets this just nice and gelatinous and just creates this really, really wonderful, like just meaty flavor to add to any dish.
Wow,
even
that
though
smells spicy.
even though it's going onto a piece of salmon or just any fish in general, a meat sauce seems a little odd, but at the same time it just gives this really nice richness to the dish. Exactly. So I added, again, like I added about a cup or so of the balsamic vinegar. So I added about a cup of the veal gloss as well. So then we'll bring that up to a simmer and season it up, and that sauce will be done.
Okay, how about if we move that to the back, because you'll want to do your salmon there, right?
Of course.
There you go.
So then we'll get our pan going, get this nice and hot for some salmon. And again, it is a Schooner Bay salmon. Schooner Bay is, really can't get a much better salmon.
Where is it?
Schooner Bay is in Vancouver.
Okay.
So it is a, excuse me, it is actually a farmed salmon, but it is the best of the best, pretty much.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really nice product, and again, it is a sushi grade quality.
Just a little side, I am the only person you will ever meet who went to Alaska salmon fishing and got skunked.
Really? Nice.
You have to know where to go.
So we're letting our pan get hot. We're gonna take, again, our canola oil.
Is there a reason you don't use olive oil?
I don't like the flavor necessarily that the olive oil will impart to pretty much anything that you're using, unless you want that flavor. If you're doing, you know, the Italians or like Mediterranean style dishes, then by all means use olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil, because heating it will become bitter. But just a pure olive oil is perfectly fine for it. I just prefer to use something that's a little bit less flavorful.
It's not going to impart flavor.
Yeah, exactly. So we're then going to take our same seasoning mixture, season nice and liberally so that you create this wonderful little crust on the salmon itself. So we're going to wait for our pan here to get nice and hot to again help with that little crust.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. So we just have a little bit of time here. So as we're waiting for our pan here to finish, our sauce over here is just about done. So what we're going to do with our sauce is we're going to take some of our just vine ripened tomatoes that I had just diced up, and we're going to add them right to our sauce.
Were you looking for a certain thickness there, or
just pretty much just letting it come up to a simmer. Yeah, you don't really need to reduce it anymore. Once the veal gloss is added into there and it comes up to a simmer, the sauce is pretty much done.
Okay.
So you're going to want to then just turn it down and just kind of let it just hang out and wait for
so we want those tomatoes to still taste fresh. We don't want them to cook too much.
Exactly. So I'm just going to let it be as gentle as possible on those tomatoes. I'm not going to stir them in until I'm ready to use them, so that it is cooking them as least as possible. So for our salmon, to get a nice little crust on it, you're gonna wait till, a lot of people are scared that they're gonna burn the house down, or that they're just, I don't know, people are terrified of getting their pans really hot. So what you're looking for is the pan to actually start smoking. So it is my oil in the pan and just really, really intense heat. So that's gonna allow me to get a really nice sear onto my piece of fish.
And you're going presentation side down
Presentation side down first, and always drop the fish away from you so that oil, because it is so hot, if it does splash, it splashes away from you. So drop it into my pan and away.
Okay. There is a reason chef coats have double cuffs.
Exactly.
And that's what it's for, it flatters.
So just give it a quick little shake, make sure that oil is under the fish, and we will then, once we have that initial sear, I will then turn it down just slightly and just let it get nice and caramelized and just create this really, really nice crust on the outer part of the fish.
Okay. And if you look at the side, you can always tell how cooked it is because you can watch the color raise up to the top.
Now it's just a waiting game. And like I said about this fish, it is a sushi grade, so I could literally just sear both sides of this fish and put it on my plate, and it'd be a nice rare. I get people that order it all the time at the restaurant, rare.
And you love it,
right? The rare that I can cook it's perfect. It's perfect. You know, 2-minute cook time on this dish, and it's wonderful having dishes like that.
Awesome.
But you could do any temperature that you want. Try to stay away from the well done, just because you're ruining a beautiful piece of fish. But at the same time, that's how you like it. That's how you like it.
I'm sure most people don't realize it's sushi grade.
Yes.
Should put that on the menu.
We actually had it on for the summer. We had a raw dish with this salmon. So it was really, really nice. Perfect for out on the patio.
So have we done anything here that isn't gluten-free? What about the sauce that went in this?
This veal glass is gluten-free, the balsamic is gluten-free. Everything that we've done today so far has been 100% gluten-free. I try to be as conscious as possible.
Except for, oh no, we've got meat. Forget the vegan.
So just
we got meat and fish.
Take a quick little peek, and you see that just wonderful little sear.
That's beautiful. Perfect. Okay, so now will we put this in the oven, or?
So we're gonna go for, like, I prefer my salmon to be like medium rare to medium. That's just how I like to eat it. So what I'm gonna do is, since I've seared it, flipped it over, I'm gonna get rid of my oil into the sink and pop it into a 450-degree oven for about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how thick the piece of fish actually is.
Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then we'll come back and show you all 3 dishes all plated. Okay, so when you were touching the fish, what were you feeling for?
I was just checking for a doneness. Again, that's just something just from being in the kitchen and cooking thousands of pieces of fish. You don't do the well done, medium. Yeah, exactly. I've heard a lot of different things, how your hand feels, to just a lot of just crazy things, but it's just doing it just by practice.
It really boils down to experience.
Yep, and worst case scenario, you can always take a meat thermometer and stick it right in the middle, and however you feel your doneness is, but I just it's a lot quicker just by feel.
Okay, well, let's plate that up.
All right, perfect. So we have our nice black lentils that we'll just go right down to the center of the plate with. Take our nice piece of beautiful fish.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Set it down right on top of there. And then we'll take our sauce that we had made, that I had added a little bit of parsley to. And I'm going to add a touch of butter just to finish it. Just adds a nice little creaminess, a little mouthfeel in there.
So do you make this in small batches, or do you make?
No, I make this in very, very large batches at work. So
you can just grab some and
finish
it off.
Yep.
Warm it up.
Exactly. So we'll just bring that up, let that butter melt, and then what we'll do is just pour it right over top, and you just get this just wonderful, like, really meaty, but at the same time acidic and sweet, just delicious.
So when you add a little bit of butter like this at the end, that's called mounting butter, and it gives the top of the glaze a beautiful little, I can't think of any other word than glaze.
Right,
Gives
just
it a
nice
little shininess,
exactly.
Sheen, yeah. Okay.
So our butter is just about melted.
Perfect.
So then I'm going
to...
Sure, yeah. Spoon.
There you go.
We'll just take that wonderful, wonderful sauce.
Yummy.
Just add it into our tomatoes, and now it's nice and acidic from the tomatoes, acidic from the balsamic, sweet from the balsamic. Just
it complements our fish gorgeously, right?
Exactly. A nice fatty piece of salmon.
Perfect.
And we have just this wonderful dish, and then I will take it, and just for presentation purposes, and just make sure that my plate is nice and clean.
So when you go to Streetside Seafood, check for drips. No.
And there you have a perfectly plated Schooner Bay salmon.
Okay, so we run through what we did in each of these dishes, what each of these dishes are.
So again, we have tuna tartare, which is actually on our menu, as well as the salmon, and then a mussels, which we always have mussels in-house. They're not actually on the menu, but they are almost always available.
So you can always ask for them, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, Chef Ryan Friedrich, thanks so much for coming. It was really fun cooking with you and getting to know you a little bit. I'm Chef Lynn. Enjoy.